Good evening. Welcome to California Today. I'm David Zhang. Let's take a look at today's stories. Another store is closing stores in San Francisco. The company says a change in shopping habits is the driving reason. To ban or not to ban natural gas? The Biden administration is asking the courts to decide and review such a case to hopefully overturn a previous ruling. A new candidate is throwing his hat into the 2024 presidential race. NTD has more on what he hopes to bring to the table. Another retailer is planning to shut down its store in San Francisco this summer. AT&T says changes in shopping habits are one of the reasons to close the Flagship store.
In the past few years, retail stores have been closing in California. More recently, AT&T announced that its Flagship store in downtown San Francisco will be closing on August 1st. On Friday, the Flagship on 1 Powell Street had roughly a dozen visitors in 1 hour at noontime, near the cable car turnaround. AT&T spokesman Chris Collins provided this statement. Consumer shopping habits continue to change, and we're changing with them. That means serving customers where they are through the right mix of retail stores, digital channels, and our phone-based care team. We are proud of our continued presence in the community, not only through our retail stores, but our local investment in world-class connectivity with our 5G and fiber networks. All retail employees affected by this change will be offered jobs at one of the many other retail locations in the city. Currently, there are 12 AT&T stores throughout the city of San Francisco. One person who didn't want to go on camera told NTD about robberies, but that he feels safe.
I think I know why they're doing it is because there's a law where people can just come in, barge in, break everything, steal stuff, and not get arrested. And that's a shame. I feel very safe. I have a very large dog. People usually stay out of my way.
San Francisco is growing quieter and darker as more businesses are leaving. Data shows its downtown is recovering the slowest compared to the rest of the nation.
Data from ABC 7 News shows San Francisco is ranked last in a list of 63 cities' downtown recovery nationwide. By looking at cell phone activity, they found that the city is about 29% of its activity compared to 2019. Nearby, Oakland is at 48% and San Jose is 75%. One possible reason for the slow recovery are the empty offices. The news outlet also found that the office vacancy rate nearly tripled from 2019 to 2023. Recently, Westfield Mall announced it will be leaving downtown due to its high vacancy rate and low sales. The stores inside it, like Nordstrom, Banana Republic, Bloomingdale's, and many others, have decided to leave, citing low foot traffic and high crime rates. Now, Cinemark is planning to shutter the movie theater before its lease expires in September. Businesses leaving create a domino effect on the tourism industry, and hotel rooms remain unoccupied. Park Hotels and Resorts, a lodging real estate investment trust, announced on June 5th that it will not be investing in the Hilton San Francisco Union Square and Park 55 San Francisco hotels anymore. It has stopped making payments on a $725 million loan, citing the city's challenges. In a statement, its CEO said, San Francisco's path to recovery remains clouded with both old and new challenges, which includes record-high office vacancy, concerns over street conditions, lower return to office than peer cities, and a weaker-than-expected citywide convention calendar through 2027 that will negatively impact business and leisure demand and will likely significantly reduce compression in the city for the foreseeable future. The company will also remove the 2 properties from their portfolio. Further down Market Street is another hotel that has been shuttered during the pandemic to house the homeless as part of Project Roomkey. Now, the city agreed to pay Hotel Whitcomb $19.5 million in a damage settlement for using the property as a shelter-in-place hotel. According to its website, the hotel is closed until further notice.
President Joe Biden's administration told a federal court that a city in California should be able to enforce a natural gas ban. If successful, this ban will be the first in the United States.
A city in California should be able to enforce the nation's first ban on natural gas piping. At least that's what President Joe Biden's administration told a federal court this week. They asked the court to rehear a case on Berkeley's proposed gas ban. Back in 2019, Berkeley adopted an ordinance that barred natural gas infrastructure such as pipes in newly constructed buildings. The California Restaurant Association then sued the city. The association's CEO said, quote, "Natural gas appliances are crucial for restaurants to operate effectively and efficiently, as they allow for a wide variety of cuisines and innovations in the restaurant industry." Initially, a court judge ruled in Berkeley's favor to uphold the ban. But during an April 17th hearing this year, 3 circuit judges overturned that ruling to favor the Restaurant Association. Now the Biden administration is asking for a rehearing that, if granted, would seek to reverse the circuit judge's ruling. Both restaurant owners and operators have criticized the ordinance, with at least one winning an exemption.
The latest presidential candidate is promising to address our nation's most critical issues. So what does he bring to the table? NTD's Christina Corona has more from the Miami mayor's speech in California.
The 2024 presidential election is rapidly approaching. The list of nominees is growing, and one of the most recent candidates to enter the race is Miami Mayor Francis Suarez. Here at the Reagan Library, Suarez is speaking at an event which is focused on the future of the Republican Party in California. The 43rd mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, delivered a speech at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library as part of the Institute's A Time for Choosing speaker series in hopes of gaining your vote. Earlier this week, Suarez announced his candidacy for the upcoming presidential election. During the speech, the mayor emphasized his commitment to addressing the issue of homelessness and implementing effective solutions to provide support and assistance to those in need.
Homelessness is exploding across America. Our friends not too far down the road in Los Angeles are keenly aware of this. At one point, Miami peaked with over 6,000 homeless, but today we're down to 608. We put forth a program called Functional Zero with the goal to end chronic homelessness, just like we ended veteran homelessness.
Suarez mentions that we cannot solve homelessness until we address the mental health epidemic in America.
From mass shootings to addiction and homelessness, we need to address mental health and critical care with new and innovative approaches that help people build the skills to avoid crisis.
The mayor's dedicated efforts have resulted in the creation of numerous economic opportunities in Florida. For example, fostering business growth, entrepreneurship, and job creation throughout the state, which he plans to achieve on a national scale.
You know, Miami is in the middle of an economic explosion that leads Florida and leads the nation. While other cities have attacked entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators, as David said, we boldly welcome them. And this new generation responded by helping us build a booming tech economy that has generated high-paying jobs with the lowest unemployment rate in the United States of America.
Suarez passionately stressed the significance of education, recognizing it as a crucial foundation for individual growth and societal advancement, while promising quality education for all.
We raised private sector dollars to create a First in Family Scholarship Fund, so any first-generation American living in Miami who seeks the American dream to attend college can live it. We've done much and plan to do more because access to education is the greatest tool for prosperity of our time.
The mayor admires Ronald Reagan's impactful legacy and looks to it as a source of inspiration for guiding the growth and development of his city, Miami, and for the future of America.
Today's Miami is a living and breathing example of President Reagan's legacy, a thriving city on a hill, built on the promises of keeping taxes low, keeping people safe, and embracing our culture of American innovation.
From homelessness to high taxes, from mental health to the border crisis and more, the mayor of Miami, Francis Suarez, is hoping to make the leap from the mayor's office in the Sunshine State to the Oval Office in the White House. From the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, Christina Corona, NTD News, Simi Valley.
We'll take a short break now, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. A few Southern California beaches are now closed. Mayors are saying contaminated water from Mexico is to blame. Some teens with severe obesity are taking aggressive measures to cut back on their weight. One such method is through surgery. And Father's Day coming up this weekend. We'll bring you some tips on how to get a meaningful gift without breaking the bank. Those stories and more coming up on California Today. Welcome back to California Today. I'm your host, David Zhang. Many beaches at the Southern California border have been closed due to the contaminated water coming from Mexico. The mayor of Imperial Beach is now asking President Biden to declare a state of emergency. The mayor of Imperial Beach, Paloma Aguirre, asked President Biden last week to declare a state of emergency on sewage water from Tijuana, Mexico. Aguirre said that immediate access to funding and coordinated efforts from federal and state departments to address the crisis are needed. She told the Epoch Times, quote, "At the end of the day, no one is helping us." The contaminated water along the city's beaches has infected thousands of people. Many beaches are now closed. According to a study published by UC San Diego, the sewage-linked bacteria have become airborne in Imperial Beach. It could affect residents who aren't even in the water. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency has approved $300 million 4 years ago for the International Sewage Treatment Plant. But Aguirre said she is worried most of the funding will go to repairs on the plant instead of expanding it. On May 3rd, the Imperial Beach City Council declared a local emergency on the issue after a previous declaration expired. 2 men, including a Marine, were arrested and charged with firebombing a clinic that offers abortion services. If found guilty, they could be sentenced to up to 20 years behind bars.
2 men were arrested and charged with using an explosive to damage a Planned Parenthood clinic in Costa Mesa. That's according to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Central District of California. Prosecutors allege that Urgel, 22 years old, and Chance Brennan, 23 years old, who is an active duty Marine stationed at Camp Pendleton, ignited a Molotov cocktail and threw it at the front door of the clinic on March 13, 2022. According to the manager of the clinic, the fire caused an estimated $1,050 worth of damage to the building, and 30 appointments have been canceled. No one was physically harmed. The FBI in January offered a $25,000 reward for information on the incident. A high school friend of the 2 men provided information to the FBI. It is not immediately clear if Urgel has legal representation. The Epoch Times has contacted the Department of Justice for further comment.
Teens with severe obesity are now turning to surgery and new weight loss drugs. Children and their parents say aggressive measures are necessary after years of ineffective diets and exercise programs. But other medics urge caution and intervening so early, saying diet and exercise are important in weight loss.
According to his mother, John Simon III was a hungry baby and a chunky toddler who grew into a chubby little boy. But by the time the California middle schooler turned 14, his weight had soared to 430 pounds and became a life-threatening medical condition.
My passion with food was exhausting. I loved food at that time, That's the only thing that was kind of a comfort zone for me.
8 months after weight loss surgery that removed a portion of his stomach, John lost more than 150 pounds, boosting his health and his hopes for the future.
But now, after the surgery, I'm only able to eat a little portion of food that I enjoy of eating, and also that just makes me full.
John is among a small but growing group of young teens using drastic treatments, body-altering surgery, and new drugs that rewire metabolism to lose large amounts of weight. The children and their parents say the aggressive measures are a necessary option after years of failed diets and exercise programs. Dr. Janie Pratt, a Stanford University surgeon who performed surgery on John Simon, says surgery was effective in his case.
So John Simon had tried lots of different treatments. He had tried medications. He had tried lifestyle changes. You know, we've shown again and again that in kids with severe obesity and in adults with severe obesity, lifestyle change is not a good treatment. It does not work. Diet and exercise is ineffective at treating obesity. Surgery is effective, and it has long-term results.
I see my weight constantly going down because I don't want to look back and go back and, you know, just deal with that pain and deal with all that weight that was on me. You know, after the surgery, I feel like I had a new life. I forgot about the past. I forgot what I had to deal with to get here.
Supporters of the drastic weight loss measures in children say they're crucial when 80% of adolescents with excess weight carry it into adulthood.
The magical thing about surgery is it takes that hunger away. And the children change. They become new people. They grow and they interact differently with others. It's like it's just such a change for them.
John turned 15 in May. He walks 18,000 steps every day and hopes to study hard in high school and college to land his dream job as an auto engineer.
My workout, it would be twice a week. Tuesdays through Thursdays, I go to the gym and see my trainer, Chris, and we work out. And after that, I eat dinner and go to bed.
In January, the American Academy of Pediatrics, or AAP, issued guidelines that call for considering obesity drugs for children as young as 12 and surgery for those as young as 13. The recommendations were immediately controversial. Medical critics urge caution at intervening so early. Dr. David Ludwig, an endocrinologist and researcher at Boston Children's Hospital, warns that the new weight loss medications shouldn't eclipse non-drug options. He wrote in the Journal of the American Medical Association, especially for children, diet and exercise must remain at the forefront of obesity prevention and treatment. Pratt said, since the release of the AAP guidelines, signups for the Stanford Surgery Program have doubled. The program is among the busiest sites in the U.S., performing more than 50 of the 2,000 pediatric weight loss surgeries logged each year.
A retail industry group says Father's Day spending could break records this year. And if you're still shopping around for a gift, we have some valuable ideas to help you celebrate without breaking the bank. Here are 3 tips to help you save on this special occasion.
Showering Dad with love this Father's Day? You're not alone. Spending is expected to reach nearly $23 billion this year. The National Retail Federation says that would be an all-time high. It's predicting consumers will spend a record $196.23 on average. But celebrating Father's Day doesn't have to be expensive.
There is no better time to spend your money wisely than on the men in your life that you love.
Jessica Allen from the website Living Well Spending Less has some tips to help you save money while still expressing your love and appreciation for Dad. Number 1, be intentional. As you might expect, some of the most popular gifts this year are clothing, gift cards, and personal care items. But Alan says consider crafting a heartfelt, personalized gift instead. It may be cheaper, and it's certainly more thoughtful than a store-bought item.
Get really specific. Do you have a movie buff? Can you plan early to go see a summer blockbuster?
Number 2, ditch the restaurant and host a grilling session. Buy a cut of meat or veggie that he loves. Have it ready for a weekend celebration and a playlist of all of Dad's favorite songs.
Just ask him, would you like to grill for us or would you like us to grill for you? You're going to save so much money when you plan and have that beautiful meal at home.
Number 3, plan a memorable experience. Take Dad on a hike, picnic, fishing trip, or any activity that he enjoys.
For these men, love is spelled T-I-M-E. And so how can you carve out some time in your weekend to spend some quality time with the fathers in your life?
Now, as we're heading to the weekend, there is plenty of fun things to do, even with everything that's going on. If you're looking for some weekend activities, you're in luck. Here's a list of some upcoming events in the Golden State.
First up, the Alameda County Fair includes a drone and fireworks show, concerts, carnival, and many more. The fair runs through July 9th. Next, we have Angel Island Family Day, a celebration of family, connection, and heritage at the Angel Island Immigration Station. Tickets are only $10 and include round-trip ferry rides from either Tiburon or San Francisco, ground shuttle service, lunch from chef.com, and entrance fee for the Detention Barracks Museum. Now, over in Orange County, the Fountain Valley Summerfest features carnival rides, games, live concerts, and lots of delicious eats, as well as fireworks and a drone light show at night. Last but not least, there is a Lao Food Festival in San Diego. It features live music, cultural performances, cooking demonstrations, and fun cooking competitions.
Now let's check in with NTD's Carlos Reyes for more sports.
This is your California Sports Roundup, and I'm Carlos Reyes. The Vegas Golden Knights have defeated the Florida Panthers to win the Stanley Cup for the first time in their 6-year existence. On the Knights were former Sharks goaltender Adin Hill, who led the team to the championship after starting late in the playoffs. Hill was traded by the Sharks to the Knights shortly before the season started. Backup to Hill was longtime Los Angeles King Jonathan Quick, who was acquired during this year's trade deadline. Quick has now won 3 Stanley Cups in his career, 2 with LA, and now 1 more with Vegas. The Golden State Warriors have officially announced Mike Dunleavy Jr. as the new general manager of the team. He has previously been the Warriors' vice president of basketball operations and assistant GM. Dunleavy originally joined the Warriors front office as a scout back in the 2019 season and has spent 5 years in his NBA career playing on the Warriors. Shohei Ohtani starred on the mound and at the plate. Mickey Moniak delivered the tying hit and the go-ahead home run, and the Los Angeles Angels held on to beat the Texas Rangers 5-3 on Thursday in Arlington, Texas. The Angels won 3 of 4 in the series. Ohtani allowed 2 runs in 6 innings, and he also hit his 22nd homer. Moniak finished with 3 hits, including an 8th inning solo shot. Texas starter Nathan Eovaldi gave up 3 runs in 7 innings, while Nathaniel Lowe and Adolis Garcia each had 2 hits and an RBI for the Rangers. That is it for today's Sports Roundup. Thank you for watching. I'm Carlos Reyes.
Thanks, Carlos, and that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on California Today every weekday at 8 p.m. Make sure to check out our broadcasts at ntd.com/California-today. You can also find all of our top latest clips there, ready to share with friends and family. Send us a message on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gunjin World, or through our email, california.today@ntd.com. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful weekend, and happy Father's Day to all the hardworking fathers out there.